Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I may have to go down to the Bay Area today. I'm not looking forward to that. It's a terrible drive to go down to the Bay Area. The traffic is horrendous from the San Mateo County Courthouse. It took me about, I left the courthouse at around 1:30 last Thursday. I stopped for about a half an hour in Hayward to eat at Val's, because Val's has like the best hamburgers. And then I ended up getting back up to the office at about 5:45. So that's like 3 hours and 45 minutes to do what should have been about a 2.5 hour drive. Good times. So in response to my video yesterday, a lot of people were concerned when I was mentioning various Peeping Tom laws, that if they were walking past someone's window and that person, their window is like readily viewable from the street, like a living room window, and they were prancing about their living room naked, that could somehow be Peeping Tom-ishness. And typically, again, hashtag not all, check with your local state, but the state laws that I have seen have typically tied some sort of an intent element to it. And they also attach a reasonable expectation of privacy element to it. So it's going to typically be someplace where the person who is being filmed or viewed has a reasonable expectation of privacy. And one of the first things that the lawyer for the defense would ask or would make clear would be that somebody prancing around in their living room with the blinds open in full view of the public sidewalk would not have a reasonable expectation of privacy. And then, of course, for almost all laws, there are a few that don't require this, but for almost all laws, there is an intent requirement. There's a mens rea element. And typically, well, always in a Peeping Tom case, they would have to prove some intent. And like I said before, typically that's going to be tied to the intent to get sexual gratification out of doing it. It's like the Marilyn Monroe walking across the grate that has the updraft blowing up her skirt. If you happen to be walking by and you see Marilyn Monroe's skirt being blown up by the updraft, then you didn't have any intent, you didn't do anything, you just happened to be there. If, on the other hand, you attached a mirror to the bottom or to the toe of your shoe, or if you attached a camera to your shoe so that you could look up her skirt, then there's an intent there. You're intentionally doing it. And the other major concern that people seem to have was that peeping isn't trespassing, and I am aware of that, which is why I addressed it under Peeping Tom laws and not trespassing laws. if you want to pretend that you can't trespass the eyes is a useful saying, if not the law, well, you can trespass the whole body. So, but you can't make it a trespassing offense for someone to see. That's not the tort of trespassing, and that's not a criminal trespass. But you may have noticed that there are lots of things that I don't talk about in my videos. And if you're concerned that I'm not talking about something, well, I'm probably not talking about it because that's not the topic of conversation. If you focus yourself and your mind and you focus on what I am talking about, things might go a little smoother. Also, if you are going to send me or reference a case that you think totally blows me out of the water, I highly recommend that you read that case first. Especially if that case says things like, because we were able to decide it based on state law, we don't reach the First Amendment claims. That might be a clue that that case, that opinion, isn't dealing with the First Amendment. There's your sign. I hope what you're finding out when you're going through all this effort is that I'm not stupid. And I actually know a thing or two about the First Amendment and First Amendment analysis. And if you don't believe that I do, that's fine. I'm still waiting on people to provide citations that undermine my stated positions based on actual case law and a reading and understanding of it. Now, so I think that's about all I had to talk about for today. It is, by the way, since I haven't talked about the weather, it is a slightly foggy morning. It's supposed to be 39 degrees out right now, but it feels like it's warmer than that. I don't know why. Never can tell how much nip will be in the air, even with the all the water vapor. It's still not terribly cold. I'm actually very warm right now. So enough small talk. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.